What's up, guys? It's your boy Spider Productions here, and today we are here with another movie reaction or movie review. This is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, full spoiler movie review. So yes, this is a spoiler review, so you guys have not seen the movie. I will give you my quick, non-spoiler review for a couple minutes, and then as soon as I let you know I'm going to get into spoilers, I'll tell you guys to tune off. If you've seen the movie, you can continue watching my review of this, and I would like to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on the description down below. So, I went to go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness a couple hours ago with some friends, and definitely was an interesting experience. This is not a typical MCU movie. It is very different. It's way more scary. They definitely were telling the truth when they said this was a horror film. And not only that, this movie was really brutal. Like, not even in the sense of, like, it's not as brutal as Logan or Deadpool, but it's definitely more brutal than any of the standard MCU movies before. It's way more darker. It's got a lot more going on, and it had a lot going on, really. And there were a lot of references, a lot of cameos, obviously, and there was a lot of, very interesting, I guess, choices made for certain characters. So I'm going to run down a non-spoiler review of how I think of all the characters. So, Doctor Strange. I think Benedict Cumberbatch did a fantastic job of playing not only our Doctor Strange, but multiple different versions of his character. I bought Defender Strange today, so I figured it was ironic. But yes, so he played multiple different versions of Strange. He played this version, our version. He played Defender Strange. He played Sinister Strange, and he also played, I think, another Strange that I will get into spoilers later. And then he played, I think that was it, 4 different Strangers. But yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch definitely played 4 different versions of the character, and definitely felt like each character had their own unique differences from each other. They didn't feel like the same. They had some similar lives in a sense, but they were all very different from each other, and I felt like that was very interesting. But yeah, like, a lot was going on for these characters, and a lot was going on for Strange. And I will say, definitely Strange did a very good job in this movie. I think his character arc was very interesting. There were times where I felt bad for him. There were times where I felt sad, obviously. I felt like Strange's sequel was the longest sequel in the MCU, because I think the last time we got a sequel was 2016, and that was a long time ago from now. So it's been a couple of years since he's got his sequel. So we finally got a sequel, and it was as crazy as you would expect. So there's Strange. So, Defender Strange. Defender Strange was an interesting character. Obviously, might slowly get into spoilers, but I'm going to try to let y'all know. I guess this isn't necessarily really a spoiler. The movie kind of starts off with him. It starts off with Defender Strange, and I liked his story arc. I liked his interesting, even though we didn't really get much of his character, I think we got a good, decent bit of him, and the way he was used in this movie was very dark and very sad, but also very interesting, especially for America Chavez's character. So I think I like Defender Strange a lot. I wish we could have gotten more of him in this movie, to be honest. Know more about his version of Strange and his backstory. But other than that, I would say I really did like this version of Strange. So, Wong. Wong was MVP in this movie. Wong held it down even through the toughest of decisions, even through the toughest of trials. Wong held it down. Like, for him to be the new Sorcerer Supreme, he did a pretty good job keeping some things together. Now, obviously, he wasn't able to protect everything, but he did a pretty good job. Especially, I forgot the actor's name. But, yeah, I like Wong a lot in this movie, actually. I think Wong was always a side character in majority of the movies that he's been in. Like in Doctor Strange, Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, he's always been a side character. Even in Spider-Man No Way Home, when he was said that he was the new Sorcerer Supreme, he still felt very much like a side character because he was only there for a little bit. But in this movie, I felt like this was the time Wong really shined as a character. I felt like, even though he still felt like a side character being the Sorcerer Supreme a little bit in this movie, I felt like he had a lot more going on for him in this movie than he did in the previous films he's been in. So I would say Wong definitely improved for me in this film. So I definitely love them all. Next, America Chavez. America Chavez is a new character that was introduced in the MCU. I've heard of her character a couple of times through comic books, but I will say I don't know anything about her character, to be honest with you, other than the fact of a little bit of her origin story, where she has the two moms that sacrifice themselves to, I guess, save their universe and stuff like that. That's all I pretty much know. But in this movie, we obviously were introduced to her, and I guess I will get into spoilers for her story from the movie. So if you guys want to click off for this part of this part of her, this will be spoilers. So America Chavez, we find her at the beginning of the film with Defender Strange, and basically she was a part of Defender Strange's universe, I believe, or at least not necessarily part of his universe, but she worked with Strange in that universe. And basically Defender Strange and her were being chased by this creature. We never really got to know what the creature was or what its purpose was. I assume was to stop. I can't remember what the purpose of the creature was, but yes, the creature was trying to stop. Was trying to stop them from getting the book of I forgot what the book was called, but it was a book of all good, they said, and it would give you the power to defeat your enemies. And Defender Strange and America Chavez were trying to get this book so they could use it to defeat these creatures that were chasing them. And Defender Strange got injured and basically was willing to take America Chavez's power, but taking her power would kill her. So he was willing to make that sacrifice, but instead the creature just stabbed him through the chest and killed Strange, Defender Strange. But before he died, America Chavez basically got scared and opened a portal, her star portals, that transported her to a different universe. And Defender Strange, basically, before he died, used his magic to cut through the creature's limbs, sending her into another universe, and then he died. Very sad and very dark, and that's how she came into our world. And then obviously in the film we find out that, at least in the MCU, that we find out that she is from a universe sort of like a utopia. She has two mothers, and she accidentally, I guess, got scared or something, and her powers manifest, sending her parents through a portal in the multiverse somewhere, and she got flinged through it as well. And her parents are possibly alive, maybe dead, we don't know. And and that's somewhat of her origin story. And then over throughout the film, she hasn't been able to control her power, but towards the end she figured it out. And yeah, that was America Chavez. I will say, I wasn't too sure about this character going into the movie. I wasn't sure if I was going to like her, hate her. I will say, I wish we had gotten a bit more of her in this movie, because I felt like there were moments where I was like, okay, I feel satisfied with this character. But then I felt like it was kind of cut short because they wanted to focus on other characters like Strange and Scarlet Witch and Wong, which is understandable because the movie's about them. But I felt like for this to be a new character being introduced in the MCU, we should have focused on her a bit more than she's been. I felt like she should have had more screen time. But other than that, I think she did a good job. I think, I don't even want to butcher the actress's name, but I think she did a great job with the character. I would like to see more of her in the future. I was worried because I felt like her character was going to be really woke for me. I was really worried that was going to be the case, but honestly, it really wasn't. I was actually surprised. Her character wasn't as woke as I thought it was going to be. I don't even want to say it was really woke, to be honest. Like, yeah, she had two female parents. That didn't really bother me. Like, I was like, okay, that happens. But, like, I was worried that her character was going to be way too focused on wokeism and stuff like that. But I'm so glad it wasn't like that. And they were able to show that she obviously was part of the LGBTQ community, but not being the focus. That was the thing that I hate about the wokeness, is that they make it like the gender identity and the sexuality the focus of the film and not the overall story. I don't want to focus on your sexuality. I want to focus on the fact that you guys are going on a journey to save the multiverse, and that's what this movie did for me. So I appreciate the movie for not focusing on that too much to the point where it was overbearing. So I enjoyed her character because it wasn't focused on her sexuality, it was focused on her story, and I appreciated that. So I wish we would have gotten more of her character. I think she's supposed to be Strange's apprentice. Maybe. I don't know for sure. Probably. I guess we'll find out. But I believe towards the end, we find out that she's learning magic and Kamar-Taj. So I guess she'll be Strange's apprentice on and off periodically. So that is America Chavez. So Scarlet Witch. Actually, you know what? I want to talk about her last because I have a lot to say about her. Mordo. Mordo, I felt like had a very minimized role in this movie, which really sucks, but I would say is understandable. Because I feel like they're going to use Mordo more so in the third movie, and I believe he's going to be the antagonist in the third film. Because this Mordo actually isn't our Mordo from our universe. This is Mordo from another universe that America Chavez and Strange fly in and get stuck in. And in this universe, Mordo was the Sorcerer Supreme, and this universe's Strange died fighting Thanos. And when he died fighting Thanos, this Mordo took over the Sanctum Sanctorum as Sorcerer Supreme, and was a member of the Illuminati, which I found very interesting. And yeah, that was Mordo. Other than a couple of lines we got from Mordo and a couple of stories we got from Mordo, and the little fight scene we got from Strange and Mordo, I felt like Mordo had a very minimized role in this movie. I felt like we should have gotten way more of him. But then again, if they use him as a villain in the final movie, then it's understandable. But I will say my biggest pet peeve is that Mordo was very underused in this movie. There were points where he was used well, and then there were points where he was just not even there. He didn't. Honestly, I felt like Mordo didn't really need to be in this movie, but I really enjoy seeing the actor and him on screen. I think he did a great job for what the small amount of screen time he had, and I think he did a great job of his character overall. So I love Mordo. I love this universe's version of him. I like his outfit and everything. I think he's a really cool addition to the movie, even with a small role. Now, Scarlet Witch, because I'm not even going to call her Wanda. Scarlet Witch, I have a lot to say. So when WandaVision first started, I'm going to be honest, I was not a big Scarlet Witch fan. I was not even a Vision fan. I felt like the MCU didn't really give me much of them, and I didn't really have enough screen time of them to really feel sorry for their stories. For Scarlet Witch, I felt bad, yes, when her brother Pietro died, obviously. And yes, I did feel bad when she had to fight against Vision in Civil War. And then, yes, I did feel bad when she had to kill Vision in Infinity War. But to be honest, I felt like because most of her character development was done off screen, and most of her relationships with certain characters was done off screen, I didn't really empathize with her as much as I wish I could have. But WandaVision definitely made me like her character a lot more than I did. Same with Vision. I still am with the people that are like, Wanda needs to be held accountable for what she did in Westview. Personally, I don't think she did. Especially in this movie. She damn sure needs to be held accountable. Like, I don't even want to hear anybody trying to justify her actions. Like, I understand in some cases that her actions are somewhat justified in some cases. But overall, this woman is a danger. She is the most powerful character in the MCU and the most dangerous woman alive, in my opinion. She has way too much power, which is not a bad thing, but it just makes her way OP to the point where it's like, no one could stop her. Like, no one in this film stood a chance against her. And I'm just like, girl, there's no way that this girl went from Age of Ultron struggling to destroy Ultron bots to now being able to travel through different universes, take out all of Comertage, stand a chance against Strange, Chavez, and Wong, then go to the Illuminati, fight the Illuminati, and this is a spoiler. So we're going to get into spoiler territory now. So if you guys want to click off, please do. Bro, so the Illuminati. We find out all the members who are on the Illuminati. We see Patrick Stewart as Professor X from the 1970, 90, or 87 or 97 TV show. He had the hover chair, he had the suit, and everything. It was amazing. We also find out Mordo is on the Illuminati. Maria Rambeau, Monica Rambeau's mom, is on the Illuminati. She's Captain Marvel in that universe. Captain Carter was in the Illuminati. Black Bolt was on the team as well. And Reed Richards. So I was really shocked. I believe Black Bolt, the actor we saw play Black Bolt, was the same guy who played him in the Inhumans TV show a couple years ago. Because if you guys remember, there was an announcement back when Phase 3 started that they were going to do the Inhumans movie. I believe it was supposed to be a movie. Then they changed it to be a TV show. The TV show had an early screening, and people went to go see the early couple of episodes of it. It was so badly received that the show didn't even come out officially. Like, I think we got a couple episodes, but the actual show was canceled before it was even officially released. And sorry guys, but yeah, I believe the show was canceled before it officially released or anything. And yeah, it was just a really badly received show that we just glossed over it and act like it didn't happen. But the actor who played Black Bolt, I believe, was the same actor who played him in this movie. Which, if it is the same actor, that's awesome. I think that's pretty cool. So it was cool to see Black Bolt in his comic accurate outfit. It was cool to see Charles Xavier. It was cool to see Captain Carter. But it was really cool to see Reed Richards. And not only was it Reed Richards, I don't know the actor's name, but the actor who was fan cast to play Reed Richards for like the past couple of years, people have been saying that this specific actor should play Reed Richards because he has the look and he can actually pull it off. Marvel listens to their fans and hired the guy, and he played Reed Richards, and he did a great job. I felt like he was Reed Richards to me. Now, when it comes to Reed Richards, and when it comes to the Fantastic Four, for y'all who may or may not have seen this, I watched the Fantastic Four Earth's Mightiest Heroes TV show. If you guys have watched that, y'all are real ones. If you have not, please, it's on Disney Plus. Please go watch it. It's such a fantastic show. That show made me a Fantastic Four fan. I was not really a fan when the movies came out. The first two, not really. The reboot, definitely not. And the show is what definitely made me really like the Fantastic Four. And seeing the actor who was fan cast to play Reed Richards show up was fantastic. His suit, phenomenal. His powers were definitely showed. It was amazing. We also found out that this version of Reed Richards actually had kids, which I believe was Sue, and I forgot what the other kid's name was, but he was the genius kid. And yeah, it was cool to see this version of Reed, and I hope this actor comes back to play Reed in our universe in the main continuity, because we now know that it was confirmed that Fantastic Four is getting a film, and with this movie showing Reed Richards in it, we're going to see him later on, and I hope it's the same actor. So I'm curious to see who they would choose to be the other characters. But unfortunately, we heard John Watts pulled out from directing that movie, which really sucks. So hopefully we get a better director, please, because we've had two different versions of Fantastic Four, and they butchered both. But seeing how Reed was handled in this movie, Fantastic Four is in good hands with Marvel, especially the X-Men, because I felt like both Charles and Reed they both felt like their characters from the comics, especially Reed. But I felt like Charles not only felt like his character from like comics, but he felt like the Fox version of Charles Xavier, because he says a line in the movie that was a great line, and he says, "Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean that they're lost forever." He says that to Strange, but he also says that to Mordo. But what was great about that is that he says the same line to his younger self in Days of Futures Past, which is the best X-Men movie ever, in my opinion. And he says this to younger Charles, which younger Charles says to Beast and Wolverine, which was a great line, and I love that line so much. And it was so cool to hear him say that again. But yeah, man, all the members of the Illuminati were awesome. It was cool to see them fight. It was cool to see them in action. They all did a really good job, even for the short time. Now, I will say, this movie had a decent amount of cameos, but all the cameos were very short-lived. I'm not going to lie. All the characters that were cameoed were only there for a little bit, and then eventually just were offed. So, Scarlet Witch. So, Wanda. So, Strange goes to Wanda for help, because they find out that creatures are coming from another universe chasing America Chavez. We find out that these creatures, I believe, were created by Wanda, and Wanda was mind controlled by the Darkhold to create creatures to find America Chavez, steal her power to travel the multiverse, to then use her power to go to a multiverse or universe where Wanda and her kids exist. She was going to kill that version of Wanda and just be with her kids, which is crazy. And
we find out Wanda is the bad guy. Now, I figured Wanda was going to be evil because they kind of said that when they announced this movie in Comic-Con. And not only that, based on the trailers, it definitely seemed like Wanda was going to be the villain. And yeah, she was the bad guy in this movie. Like, I felt like this movie was just a recap of her WandaVision arc, but way more brutal and way more darker. And I will be honest, I said before, Wanda needs to be held accountable for her actions at Westview. And I'm glad that they referenced it in this movie. But she is a character that needs to go to jail. I'm going to be honest. She needs to be locked up. Or not even just locked up. She just needs to be in a place away from everyone else. Because this girl needs to grieve on her own. This girl literally was so hell-bent on getting her kids back that she killed so many people to do it. She took out majority of the people at Carmitage. She injured Wong. She basically controlled a version of herself from another universe. She went to the Illuminati headquarters. She killed Reed Richards by turning him to string. She killed Black Bolt by making him speak in his own head, blowing his fucking brain open, which was crazy. She killed Captain Carter by throwing her shield through her chest, killing her. She then kills Maria Rambeau by dropping a statue on her. And she kills Professor X by snapping his neck in his mindscape. This woman needs to go to jail. I'm sorry. She just needs to work for Magneto at this point. She's too far gone. Like, I can't forgive her for any of this no more. Like, this woman killed so many people. So many people that didn't deserve it. But so many people that I liked, which I was so pissed. Like, man, I'm sorry. She is, like, Wanda wasn't really my favorite character before, but I will say she had a very tragic story. But to take it out on all these people was crazy. And I'm sorry. Wanda needs to go to jail. Like, I don't know any therapist in the world that's going to help this woman. Like, the fact that she just killed so many people from other universes and acted like it was nothing. Bro, no. Like, I'm glad she did the right thing in the end when she destroyed the temple that had the Darkhold original transcripts. And not only that, she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe so nobody would be corrupted by it. But that still doesn't justify her killing so many people. She took out so many people at Carmitage. She killed the Illuminati. She mind-controlled a version of herself in in another universe. She fought Strange and America Chavez trying to steal her power. Like, bro, she is too far gone. I'm sorry. This woman needs to be tried, convicted, and get the book thrown at her. Now, don't say, oh, it's because she's a woman. No, if it was a guy who did the same shit, dude needs to go to jail. Like, there is no justice, nothing. This woman literally used her power to travel universes and kill innocents solely because she couldn't get over the fact that she had created kids in a hex universe that don't exist. And she couldn't get over the fact that she could just let the kids go. I thought that was the whole point of her ending in WandaVision. She was able to let go and move on. But no, she took the damn book and got fucking controlled by it to the point where her whole story in WandaVision was just basically pointless because she just did it all over again in this movie. But yeah, man, Wanda needs to be held seriously accountable for all the things she did. And if she is not and is glossed over, I will be very upset. Be very upset. Either she just goes fully evil and just works with Magneto when he's introducing the X-Men, or just she needs to go through serious trials and tribulations for me to be okay with her character moving forward after what she did. Because that was just so fucking savage, and I was so pissed off that she killed so many people. But so she killed the Illuminati. And after that, Strange takes the book, or he travels to the universe, tries to take the book. Wanda captures America Chavez, destroys the book, sending Strange and Christine from the Illuminati universe, sending them into a different universe where they meet Sinister Strange. Wanda is trying to take America Chavez's power, while Strange meets up with Sinister Strange. Who a lot of people thought was Strange Supreme from What If, but it's not. Because I figured it wasn't him. Yes, is it an evil version of Strange? Of course, but I don't think it's Sinister. So Strange Supreme is the character of Strange from What If. He has the purple cape and the demon face, and I can understand why people thought that that was him in this in the movie, but no, it's Sinister. They literally have two different names. Strange Supreme is the What If version of Strange, the evil Strange. Sinister Strange is the guy we saw in this movie in this trailer. And Sinister Strange had the third eye, and he was a character that apparently was somewhat similar to Strange, but he wanted to use the Darkhold to find a universe where him and Dr. Palmer were together. And in doing so, he felt like if he couldn't have Palmer, that no Strange could. And I guess he was just killing each Strange in every universe by warping their minds with visions and dreams. And I think they said that Strange is the one that actually gave Doctor Strange the visions that he kept seeing. But yeah, it was really crazy. And they had this cool fight with the magical music notes, which was really cool. And they emphasized music, which was awesome. I thought that was a really cool way of fighting. And I thought that was a really cool way of distributing the music, which was really cool. But yeah, so we defeat Sinister Strange. He dies. And we take his book. We use it to, I believe what they called it was dream walking, where Wanda was able to dream walk into another version of herself from another universe to kill the Illuminati. Strange dreamed walked into Strange Supreme, Defender Strange, so many Stranges. Defender Strange, who had died and was stuck and was placed in our universe, buried. Strange went into his body, brought him back to life, and basically possessed his dead body and used his body to try to fight Wanda and help America Chavez. But the demons of the dam tried to stop Strange from doing that. So what does Strange do? He takes these demons, basically bends them to his will as dead Defender Strange, and turns these demons into a demon cloak of levitation, which was so freaking cool. It was the coolest thing they ever did. Like, I never would have thought that that's what the shot in the trailer was. But that was so freaking cool. And yeah, so he turns the demons into a cape, sends the demons to attack Wanda, giving them the time they needed to rescue America Chavez, telling Chavez that you are the one that needs to stop Wanda. You need to be able to learn to control your powers and help us. So she sends Wanda to the universe where she controlled, what's her name? Where she controlled, the other version of herself from the Illuminati universe. And basically, she got into a little bit of an altercation with herself there. And basically, her kids were afraid of her because she just came in as this witch trying to, kill them. And the Wanda in that universe basically said, just know that they will be loved. So even though you can't have them in your universe, just know that in this universe, they will be loved by me. So she was able to finally accept it, and she destroyed the temple, which was a temple in her honor, by the way. It was her throne. And she escaped the temple, or she destroyed the temple, actually. She destroyed the temple, and then she, after she destroyed the temple, she, I guess was just never seen. We never saw Wanda again for the rest of the movie. And, yeah. And I guess you can say she did the right thing in the end. She came to her senses after killing so many people. And then she destroyed the temple so nobody else would be able to find the Darkhold energy there. And then she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe, which was also good. But again, I feel like that does not justify anything she did. But that's just me. Anyway, so yeah, so she did the right thing in the end, and yeah, Defender Strange was dead for real. And yeah, America Chavez goes into the universe where Strange and Dr. Palmer were at, sends them back to their universes. America Chavez is now in our universe because she can travel through the multiverse. And she comes into our universe, stays with us, because she's grown attached to all the characters here. And she stays in our universe and is basically trained by Wong and everybody in Comatage. And yeah, that was that. So, all in all, I would say I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. The issues that I had with the film was really the pacing. The pacing was really fast paced, so it was hard to keep up with everything that was going on. Like, it just went from one thing to the next, and it was a really fast paced film. The movie was really fast paced, and I felt like the movie had a lot going on. Even for me, who is a comic book fan, I felt like the movie would have confused me, and it did confuse me at times, especially with the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene, there was one scene where it showed Strange had a third eye, which I believe they said he got that eye because he used the Darkhold. We also saw a woman, I forgot what her name was, but she was a Marvel character that showed up at the end of the movie, and she had... I'm trying to remember. Clea. So her name was Clea. We saw this actress, this character named Clea, who appeared in the movie at the end. Basically, she opened a portal to the dark dimension, asked Strange to go with her to, I guess, stop Dormammu, and that's what they went to do. Now, Clea, apparently, based on what I've read here, Clea is a fictional character appearing in American comic books from Marvel Comics. She is a sorceress and a disciple, lover, and eventual wife of Doctor Strange, and is his ultimate successor as Sorcerer Supreme. So, basically, she is, since Dr. Palmer, obviously in our universe, is married to someone else, Strange is now going to be with this woman, Clea, who in the comics is Strange's actual wife, which I find that interesting. And she is his successor to Sorcerer Supreme. Now, from what I've read, they said that she was, I believe, her mother was the brother of Dormammu, and her father was the original ruler of the Dark Dimension before he was dethroned and I believe killed by Dormammu. And her parents sacrificed themselves to fight Dormammu, but because she was so young, she grew up praising Dormammu, and I guess when she got older, she found out who her parents are, and she asked Strange to help her fight him, which is definitely a mind blown, because I don't know that much about Doctor Strange in the comics. I'll have to read more about Strange in the comics, but yeah, I didn't know about Clea when I first saw her, so I did a research and found that out. Also, the next post-credits scene was Bruce Campbell, because we saw him in the movie just punching himself because it was really funny. Obviously, Bruce Campbell, I believe is his name. I just don't want to make sure I'm butchering this. Yeah, okay, Bruce Campbell. So Bruce Campbell is the guy who played Quentin Beck in the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and we saw him in all 3 films, I think. I think he was in the 3rd movie, I can't remember. But he was in the first 2. And we saw him again in this movie, which was really cool, because obviously it was directed by Sam Raimi, so it was awesome. And I heard Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi are really close friends, so that makes sense. But yeah, definitely was cool to see him. I thought that was really dope. But yeah, it was just a funny. And obviously they said at the end, Doctor Strange will return. So we know that Strange comes back, even though I'm not surprised. And I know Wanda, Scarlet Witch, isn't dead when the building collapsed on her, because Elizabeth Olsen's contract was extended to 8 more projects. So she's going to be in 8 more projects moving forward in the MCU. So maybe a possible X-Men film or 2. Maybe her own solo movie. Maybe her crossing over with other characters. We don't really know for sure. But yeah, so we know obviously she's not dead. And considering how powerful she was in this movie, I'm pretty sure her being crushed by her own throne wouldn't have killed her. But yeah, she was definitely way more OP than I expected. But yeah, I will say, other than the pacing issues where it was overly fast and it was hard to keep up with everything, and there were points, obviously because this isn't a standard MCU movie, it was a horror film. Other than that, I would say this movie was really good. The visuals were really good. The acting was top notch, especially Elizabeth Olsen. She killed it with her acting scenes. I would say her and Strange were the highlight in this movie. Like, seeing Strange play alternate versions of himself, the actor, and then seeing Elizabeth play Scarlet Witch in alternate versions of herself was really good. And I liked seeing that. So yeah, I would say that both of them were the highlight in this movie, and they both deserve Oscars after this. But yeah, I would say the acting was really good. The visuals were phenomenal. The storytelling was pretty decent. There were times where it felt like it was all over the place, but overall I think it kept it calm and concise and kept the story still going.
I will say having Scarlet Witch as the villain was really interesting, and definitely have no sympathy points for Wanda moving forward. I don't feel bad for her in the slightest at all. And yeah, I think other than that, this movie was really good. I know there were some people who weren't really a fan of the film. I think it's because it's not really a standard Marvel movie, and it was the first horror film that Marvel made. But I think that's honestly what made this movie work for me, because it's not a standard movie. And I've noticed Marvel has definitely been changing the tones for certain projects lately. Like with WandaVision, it definitely didn't feel like a standard Marvel project. Falcon and Winter Soldier definitely felt like a standard Marvel project. What If? No. Loki, to an extent, not really. Hawkeye felt like a standard project, but more Christmas themed. Moon Knight definitely didn't feel like a standard Marvel project, which I liked about that show. This definitely didn't feel like a standard Marvel project, which I also appreciate. But I don't mind standard Marvel projects. Like, projects that keep Marvel consistent, the consistency of Marvel, the tone and everything. I like that, but I like it when Marvel is able to take a step out of their normal formula and try something different. Does it sometimes work and not work? Of course. Sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it does work. But I felt like for this movie, I felt like it really worked. I just felt like the pacing just needed to slow down. I think the movie just needed to slow down and breathe for certain places. If it was able to do that, then this would have been a better movie for me. But other than that, I would say this is definitely a great film. I recommend anybody who has not seen it to really go see it. I recommend if you are hyped about the cameos, do be hyped that the cameos happen, but don't be overly hyped, because unfortunately the cameos are very short-lived. But overall, other than that, this movie was really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed my spoiler review for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It was a pretty decent video. If you guys enjoyed my review of this movie, let me know in the comments down below what your guys' thoughts and opinions of the movie. What did you like? What did you not like? What you wish was different? What you wish was better? What you appreciated about the film? What you didn't? I like to hear all your thoughts in the comments down below, and your thoughts and opinions on every character. Drop a like on the video for your boy. Hit the subscribe button to be part of the community, and bell notifications so you guys know when I shall post next. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.